Yeah. And feel free to come on with your camera, or you don't need to if you're feeling quiet or not wanting to be seen right now. Yeah. Hi, Susan. Hmm. There might be a few more trickling in. And we're recording for those that could not make it tonight. We might do another one of these little intros, but yeah. Hello out there to whoever is watching. We're welcoming you as well. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, so tonight I think we'll take a few breaths together. So if you're sitting, just breathing into the base of your body. Just going to land here together, taking a few moments to acclimate to our evening in this info call about the sexual awakening for the heart. It's a big name. Hmm. Yeah, so finding your breath, not needing to change it, just noticing its natural rhythm and pattern as you bring your awareness to meet it. You can even begin to get a sense of your back body. So much of our days and our lives are filled with a lot of doing and a lot of busyness that requires our activation of the front of our body. So a lot of these gatherings are based on bringing our attention to the back of our body. And then also dropping down. So just starting to attune your body to that. What does it feel like for you to move back and down with your breath, with your breathing? This is our truest and deepest anchor. When we talk about earthing or getting grounded, you can come to this place within your being, and then the earth does the rest. If we get really practice at this dropping back and down, then there is this infinite amount of support from the Earth Mother just holding from below, and also the Great Mother that's holding it all. I find that I can deeply rest when I tune into this place and have that unique communication that I have with the Earth Mother, as do you have. It is different for us all. Mm. Yeah. I don't know if I've ever led anything where no one's camera was on. This is great. Thank you for bringing some newness into my life. But I can feel all of you and your energy, and I just want to thank you for showing up tonight, and thank you for your interest. So, um, yeah, I felt called to talk a little bit about the name of my business was Dreaming into Love. And I never really knew exactly why I was choosing that. It was just a yes for me. And there were all these ideas of what does this actually mean? And over time, I have realized for me that it means, well, it still means a lot of things. And I'm open to receiving more because it does change. Um, so in this moment, what it means for me is really dreaming a reality of love. And what does that mean? That is deeply, deeply connecting with ourselves and our world, which is us, in a way that is completely moved through the heart, that our heart leads and that our love leads, and that it is also a quest for love until we understand that we are love, that we are pure love. And I say quest because when we talk about self-care and we talk about loving ourselves or caring for ourselves, it is probably one of the most challenging relationships we'll have our entire lives. But it is the only relationship we will have for our entire lifetime. Whether there is dissolving of relationships from, a yes and a no, or simply death, or, yeah. So you have got yourself for the rest of your life. And what do you want that relationship to look like? And I really believe that we can get closer and closer and touch this infinite soul peace, soul essence that is also just such a mysterious word. We can throw it around a lot in our spiritual communities. And how do we touch it? And what does that feel like for each one of you? When you say the word soul, have you touched your soul? What experience has led you to that? So we'll have some sharing later. So I'm just going to throw that out there. What are your soul experiences? And what does that feel like in your body? Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Wondering if some movement might be good. So, yeah, just pausing here, taking in some of what I said, taking in your room, maybe looking around. And you can name different objects as you see them. You see a glass of water, a window, a bag, my phone. So getting in contact with your surroundings can help with proprioception, like getting a sense of where your body is located in the room, in your space. So if we ever feel overwhelmed in our nervous system, in our bodies, in any experience, that's something you can also take with you if you haven't already adopted this practice. So this is what we'll be doing throughout the 9-month course is attuning our nervous system, getting to know if we need to activate and move out of like stuckness or stagnant energies, or resting and pausing and coming into stillness. So a lot of times the nervous system needs activation before it can rest and relax and release and let go. So in the practice, in my training, it was one of the most phenomenal experiences. years, a lifetime of spiritual training, and no one until 10 years ago, well, actually about 5, had said, or longer. Yeah, I don't know. The years just blend. But yeah, it was an invitation. And in somatic practices, as a lot of you know, begin with the invitation. And why do we use this word? Some of you know me and work with me and have been on the 9-month course. So you know that I'm always using the word invitation, and it may get repetitive and old, but it is one of my favorites because we are just so used to pushing our bodies to go, to mold it into what we think we need to be doing for others or society. And this is the conditioning. So the invitation is just a teaser, like asking the body, hey, there's this idea. Do you feel like doing it? Hey, there's this suggestion. And then you in these practices, I always encourage you to follow your own body, your own guidance system. And yeah, so what does this do? This kind of practice is about getting deeper into the depths of the feminine. The feminine meaning our intuition, our flow, our wisdom. It is the unknown, the mystery of things. It is when things blur and get out of focus, and our capacity for beingness in that kind of floaty, sensual, blissful experience that we can have in our bodies. And a lot of times we reserve these feelings for certain experiences with certain people. So our sexual connection with our partners in the world is typically, or if we're trying to conceive a child, or Burning Man. Yeah, so this 9 months is an immersion into the depth of the feminine and the intuition and the sensual, sexual space that is absolutely 100% just for you. And a lot of us have never experienced that. And I'm just getting used to experiencing my sexuality for just me. And that comes in through sensation, through life force energy, through our fire and our connection with all that is. And when we engage with this energy with that purpose for us, to allow it to guide us, hi Janet, then so much more tenderness comes into our lives. There's a softening. The world doesn't seem as harsh. And we can really rest into the knowing that that our power is safely within our own bodies, in our own experience. And we're less apt to get into power struggles with others and be confused in our connections with other people and with the world in general. So our sexuality is, to me, the key of it all. And, fatigue and feeling drained and health problems, like all my health shifted. It wasn't the miracle cure. I'm not going to sell it, but it did, like I was doing, IVs, I was all sorts of different types of modalities. And it wasn't until I took a training and immersed myself for 5 years in tantric shadow work. But my sexuality was a key piece that changed my life. And it was very much due to a spontaneous healing that happened for me in my womb during this training, just simply on a call. And since then, I've been continuing to connect with my womb in new and beautiful ways. And I speak of power. I speak of the power of love, the power of our heart, the power of our womb. And it comes deeply from, to me, an innocent part of ourselves when we were young and little girls and we didn't know the world as it was. Maybe this isn't everybody's experience, but I feel like most of us had this innocence in our sexuality and our engagement with nature. And that is a massive foundation of the 9 months as well. I'll be a lot of connecting with the elements and how they feel to us through sensation. Yeah, and so we'll also be touching upon, I was mentioning earlier, the conditioned way of how we engage with the world of busyness and our sexuality. And we'll have the opportunity to dive into the archetypes, the sexual archetypes. The virgin is a very common exploration, but we go into the sub-archetypes, which can be really helpful to see how our conditioning, whether it's familial or societal, how it's moving through our life through these different ways we act and show up. That we've been shown since day one. So, yeah, and doing this together as women, I feel like, yeah, there is an activation and initiation that we have for each other. And it's very much inside of the Women's Union and how that plays out in our life as well. So the Women's Union described to me was or is the way we uphold the patriarch, the system that is running on the planet now. And we do this in a very, pretty basic way, but devastating way. We put ourselves above or below each other pretty constantly and automatically. In a lot of cases, some of us have cleared some of that and it's not as predominant, which is beautiful. We get to see how it's still touching us. I know that it still touches me, and wow, it is a big teacher. Yeah, it's like, the Southern Belle gossipy, like we talking behind people's backs, or these struggles that we have with other women. It's such a open door to look deeper inside of ourselves and find what's waiting for us about how we're viewing our own self. So we'll touch in on that as well. It's a long journey, 9 months. There's a lot in there. And I think I'll pause just to say as well, as Janet knows and a lot of you know, when we go on this journey, it is so deeply intuitive that I have kind of the content, let's say, but I do not have it mapped out. This is what we're going to talk about on this month. I have somewhat of a template, but I do not adhere to that template. I allow for what is moving through our circle of women to inform the field, because we are co-creating this together. And it's one of the best ways, I feel like, to gather as women so that we all have an opportunity to engage with our voice and our energy rather than just sitting back and listening to me talk, kind of like tonight. I am informing you because this is an information call, but typically I do not move into teacher role. I am not a teacher. I am not a guru. I am simply facilitating and holding space for the structure of our gathering and holding the consistency and attuning the energy. But yeah, I'm not a healer. I'm not, I'm aware of certain things, but I have experienced that a lot in my life. And the reason I say all that is due to my experience with power dynamics that I don't feel are healthy for me, and I don't want to promote them, which just means that if I am just telling you what I feel is the truth, then you may lose a sense of your own truth and your own connection with your wisdom, your womb wisdom. And women are so powerful in this way. We each have wombs that are like portals to all that is. And we have been conditioned to not even connect or feel them. And so that is a big part of this journey. And I would not want to, push past your power and your wisdom in any way. And so we really allow for space for you to come forward in whatever way that feels good for you. If you are an intellect and you just like information, I'm going to be honest, this may not be for you, but if you are curious about receiving information energetically and intuitively, and you're simply have always experienced like intellectually receiving information, then this is for you. You do not have to already know this, and it's important to feel called and for this to resonate with you. That is part of the intuitive process. Yeah. Let me just give an example here. I've had some women that have had like profound healings. We have had all sorts of experiences. And then, women that have left early and said, I don't even know what this is. and that's okay. It's all okay. But just to give you a sense of how different this gathering is. That's why I don't call it a course. This is not an academy. All of those things. Yeah. So, one of the things that we do that's pretty predominant that I do in person, and I did it at the festival this last weekend or 2 weekends ago now, is to touch in on our anger. And it seems to be just the most profound for so many women. And it was one of the highlights. Whenever I offer this in person, women get excited. And women that couldn't go to the festival were like, oh, darn, because I really need to get that anger. I mean, we were offering all these things, but the anger was what they wanted to come for. So, there's some different exercises, that I guide us in, and it's something that I do weekly. It's something you can do daily, and I have done daily. It's something that I feel like is really helpful for women because a lot of us have not, have been muted in different ways. So, um, in whatever way that has come for any of you, it's very, very important for us to find our sound. So in these anger exercises, that is the first opportunity I like to lead women in, is to find their sound. And this isn't about pushing sound out. It's like opening the mouth and finding the exhale. And if any of you feel like trying that out tonight, you can. Let's do it, Janet. So we're just going to take maybe 5 breaths or so. And so basically, there's just an invitation again here to exhale with an open mouth, whether it's lips slightly apart or a wide open mouth. And if sound is wanting to come, or you're curious about sound, then go for it. And if you're not feeling called for sound to come out, or it feels edgy for you, then don't push your body at all. That's the first sexual awakening for the heart rule. We don't have rules, but yeah, it's for guidance, and it is about allowing the body. So just seeing what comes up for you. And it can be as simple as the most quiet sigh. It can be really loud, like a roar. So let's see what we get. All right, just a few breaths, whatever feels good for you. So inhaling at your own pace. And exhale out of the mouth. So inhale through the nose. Maybe a favorite tone of yours or a hum. And you can create some body movements with your sound. Maybe a wiggle of hips or shoulders. Maybe even some stretching. And then coming to some stillness here. You can continue to breathe, maybe closing your eyes. And coming to this place once again, this back body, bringing your attention to the back body and letting it melt down to the base of your body. And feeling into your sits bones if you're sitting. Taking a few breaths here. And just noticing how you breathe into the base of your body that more of your attention and awareness follows your breath. Oh, mm. You can continue to have eyes closed and be settled, or you can come out and decide what feels good for you. That along with anger, we'll be touching in on grief rituals and death as a friend, as a teacher. There's a lot of religions across the world that really honor death, very different from our American society. If you're all in America, some of you may be in Canada. Yeah, but similar culture where we embalm, we do things to prevent and avoid death. We have anti-aging everything, especially for women, to preserve our youth and to look a certain way, to be a certain way. So yeah, we'll be touching into the way it feels to get more in touch with the final years of our lives. Doesn't matter how old you are, as soon as you are born, you are moving towards death in whatever way that looks like for you. Death is a very big part of life. And when we touch it and we get to know it more, then we are more prepared for when the day comes, because it will come. And it can be a beautiful reconnecting with all that is. And for most of us, there's still a bit of fear, or a lot of fear, around death. So we'll be touching in on that. Death meditation. Yeah. So we'll speak a little bit to what is sexual awakening for the heart. This is a remembering practice. Spoke to this a little bit, but remembering what it's like to be fully in our bodies. And maybe we don't even know what that's like. But to come fully in and feel ultimately safe in our bodies, it is essential that we know, come to know and understand our sexual energy, our dreaming energy, our creative energy, our life force energy. Mm. Mm. So we'll be getting in touch with our bodies more in a very subtle and slow pace. We are not looking to have orgasms or multiple orgasms, or this is not what I'm going to be training anyone in this 9-month journey. We are simply getting in touch with our sexuality in the way that it is just for us. And yes, orgasm, and if that's a result, that's great too. But that is not the intent. And in Tantra, the way that I was trained, traditional Tantra, is that there is no goal for our sexuality when we have this deeper connection to it. So that is ultimately, I mean, sexuality is the domain of the feminine and of women. And she likes this spiraling, this rounding, this subtle energetic field to move inside of very slowly and subtly. And most of us are not used to that energy. And like I was saying before, this is where we have the opportunity to rest back and not push. We don't need to push our bodies, our sexuality in any direction inside of any goal. That's so exciting. I'm just going to say, it's like the best thing that ever happened to me. Is to know, oh, one of the best things. Childbirth was incredible, but yeah, just to really remember and reclaim something I didn't know that I had lost. You know, we get into this conditioned patterning and we just don't know that that's not really us. So we get to separate and find, oh, wait, this is me, or this is not me. And this is part of the yes-no practices as well that we'll be touching into, that is actually really, really simple and extremely powerful. It was also part of the festival. And again, I just am so blown away. I had never done the yes-no exercise with that big of a group. And whew, it's just so cathartic. Just the invitation alone kind of throws us into something. So I look forward to doing that again in this gathering. Yeah. Okay. We're getting close to questions here, but I do want to touch upon another offering that's going to be coming up, where the Sexual Awakening 9 months, it's not like a mandatory prerequisite, but it will be really helpful to have experienced this journey before taking a new course called Womb Dreaming. And it's not fully formed, but it just keeps coming up, and it is the next step. These things happen not really based on my mind, but in my life experience and what I'm experiencing in my body. And right now, there is a lot of dreaming energy for me that's coming on, and I've begun to develop something that I would love to pass on, which is, yes, getting in more contact with our wombs, but also, how do we dream? Like, we are all dreamers, and whatever experience we've had or have not had, we are all dreamers as women. We have this vortex womb, vortex heart, and there's the sexual awakening for the heart is yoni womb heart and bridging that. And this womb dreaming is about bridging the womb and the third eye. And I believe they become one as we play with those. Again, it's not fully formed. I need more practice, but a lot of things that I've been curious about are coming forward and revealing themselves. So that's going to be exciting. Yeah, so ultimately, this is going to be an immersion into a lot of sounds and breath and movement, intuitive movement, And then there's this invitation throughout the whole 9 months. And I will, whether you come and join us or not, the invitation from here and forevermore is to allow the body to find its release without needing it to. And so that push, that expectation, it gets switched out with allowing. This is one of the best ways we can have more compassion for ourselves and begin or continue to develop a love relationship with yourself. It's like, ooh, this tension, we don't want it in our body, or this conflict that we're having with self or other. It's we can meet that with this level of care that says, okay, there's that. And you welcome that in and allow for the attention to be. And maybe there's some softening with just saying, I've got you. This is okay. This is hell, manic, chaos, whatever fresh hell this is. Yes, I'm going to acknowledge that and I'm going to welcome it in. And that's where we drop from the mind down into the body and allow your body to have a sensory experience with your world, with what is occurring in your world and in your body. And that's the deeper communication that really, where the body just begins to get relief and releases on its own without needing us to say, oh, can I just relax? Can I just let this go? Our bodies are extremely smart and have the wisdom to know when it's time. And the body has its own timing. It's typically different than our minds. So with that, anyone has any questions? I feel like I've thrown a lot out there. And yeah, just inviting you all to come in. Oh, hey, Kulia. It's awesome you're here. I love speaking about this because it's just, I mean, it's everything to me. Brings tears to my eyes. This became my world, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, because I couldn't not share it, because it was so profound. And this is year 3, Janet? Year 4? Okay. And we've just had, I mean, a lot of us on here have experienced it, so I just want to bring it up. We've had healings, and this last year we've had a death of a woman that came to journey with us, and we didn't 100% know that that's what was going to happen. And the gift exchange from her process on her way before she crossed was a gift that I think none of us will ever maybe fully understand. And it's a lot to integrate. And I know we're all still in some form of that process as she crossed a few weeks ago. And a handful of us got to go and be with her this summer. So that was really special. And yeah, there was a part of me that wished the 9-month course would heal her and that she would live. And what I learned was I'm not I'm not a teacher. I'm not a healer. I'm not a guru, and I'm not a savior. I'm not here to save anyone. And I wasn't here to save her from death because she gave me the gift of understanding that death isn't something to prevent or push up against, but to more embrace. And that gets tricky with our survival mode. And if we're sick and yes, there is an aspect to work with death in our bodies in that way. But, yeah, yeah. Beautiful woman. Oh, mm, mm, mm. Yeah. Mm. So, yeah, if anyone has any questions, feel free to come on. If you've been on this journey before and you want to speak to it, feel free to come on. And then earlier I asked a question, what does touching your soul feel like to you? What is the soul experience? How does it feel in your body? Hmm. It's totally fine to not have anything to say right now. No pressure at all. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. So maybe we'll move into a little something, a little practice. Um, it's just a hold. It's just a simple hold. And I'm curious how it'll feel for you, and you don't need to share, but um, if you place a hand, so this is something that you can do um, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if your nervous system is amped up, or you're stressed about something. You can simply put your hands over your forehead, kind of like your third eye, and then another hand in the back of your head at the base of your skull, like your occiput, if you know that. Here's my hand. And then you're just going to hold this space. Just a gentle hold. You don't need a lot of pressure here. You can close your eyes. Then again, dropping back and down, feeling into your roots, taking a few breaths here into this hold. You can even play with sound again if that feels good for you. And then a breath into the base of your body. And then release very slowly. And then just taking a pause here and feeling into your head. Feeling into the back of your neck. Feeling into your shoulders, the back of your shoulders, front of your shoulders. And breathing into these parts of your body, to your chest and your heart. Your shoulder blades and your spine, traveling your awareness down your spine to the base, your tailbone. And coming down deep into your belly. And we're feeling into the back of your belly, feeling the front of your belly soften. And just greeting your womb this evening. Maybe it's the first time today that you've made contact with your womb. Mm. Feeling into the sensation. There may be words, there could be sound, noticing temperature. Is there warmth or coolness? Is it feeling tight or loose, frozen or fluid? And know that there can be multiple different sensations at one time. So feeling into what's true for you and your body in this moment. Feeling into your pelvis, your pelvic bowl, and the bones that make up this pelvic bowl, moving from the sacral bones to the tailbone, the sits bones, the pubic bone, and the hip bones. Tuning into the holding here that your bones creates for your womb, for your body. Mm. Mm. Oh. Mm. Maybe if you haven't already, feel like placing a hand or both hands around your womb. Mm. And this could feel new for you. or it could be a familiar embrace. All is welcome. It could feel confronting. It could feel joyous. It could feel relaxing. Just getting a sense for what it feels like for you and your body to be with your womb. The center of power, the center of your body. We haven't been taught how to communicate with our wombs, how to lead our lives from our wombs and our yonis and our hearts combined. Oh. Mm. Mm. So this is a practice here that you can take with you. Mm. You can slowly come back if you haven't already to this call. And again, you're welcome to share about at time here. So we have a few minutes. If someone wants to pop on, there's time. And you're also welcome to share in the chat if, like, what your experience was, just communicating with your womb, just in this short practice. Mm. Mm. And Karen says, I could feel my heartbeat through this. Oh, that's beautiful, Karen. Thank you for sharing. Mm. That work?
Yes.
Hi, Janet.
Hi. I I felt a profound shift and an extreme, like, calm, just this hug, big hug and calm, and the silence of nobody speaking has it's at first I thought it was irritating me a little bit, and I'm the only one and the camera on and but the meditation that we just did totally shifted me out of my mind, like in such a beautiful, profound way, where now it's fine that I just see a bunch of jigsaw puzzle. Anyway, this stuff works, you guys. Like, because it shut my mind off, because I was irritated why nobody has their camera on, and now I'm not irritated anymore. So it's, thank you, Rachel. Like, I'm, this blows me away every time, the depth of the silence and the depth of the comfort and the depth of the being in my body. It's really nice to be in my body. When it's really, Yeah, thank you.
Mm, yeah. Thank you, Janet. Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Yeah. It's so interesting. You know, we're not used to certain things. Like I was saying, oh yeah, I haven't experienced um a Zoom group where there were no cameras on and you came on and I was just thanking everyone because I was like, this is brand new. This is great. This is edgy for me. And it's gone so beautifully. And I love that your camera was on and you're engaging, but I love that everyone's were off too because um I actually felt into that silence more too. It was like, oh, and I don't know if I'm so curious about everyone's energy tonight because I'm like, is it that no one's on or is it a combination or is it that everyone's like settling in from the night and it's like there's a quietness in all of us, you know, like is this the field that's being created right now? Um, because we don't know, all we have is energy and frozen frames. So I'm very curious. And it's so cool. It's very beautiful. And I'm glad that you were able to, yeah, come out of the mind because it always feels good when we're able to do that.
Yes.
Mm. Hmm. Okay. Hi, Regina. All right, Rachel.
Right. And
Oh,
just, what I had a sense tonight was that as connected with my womb, that there's an immense amount of trauma and sorrow. But at the same time, as we were talking and breathing into it, and you were talking about, connecting the womb and the heart, and that, I believe that the womb is a portal, is the portal between the lives. And that, yes, there's been a lot of great sorrow and just a lot of trauma associated with that. But at the same time, I felt as if, um, that that portal, that opening, that place would be the root of healing. Yes, it was on the one part, just a lot of negative things associated with that from early age trauma. And and what you ask about uh the connection with soul, the closest, uh some of the work that I've just been doing, some of the inner work, is that my little girl pre-trauma was the closest thing that I ever had to source. And it's like a falling backwards, to come forward, right? It's like the falling backwards to that place, to come forward in my strength. So that's what I got out of it tonight. Thank you.
thank you, Regina. Oh, really profound. Thank you for sharing that. It is really resonant with me and how, like, I feel like you're speaking words I've spoken, like, directly. And one of the things that I said when I first stepped on this specific path to connect with my womb, and it was just like dark energy. My nervous system would completely lose it if I even brought my awareness downward. So I was just completely disconnected. And there was something inside me that knew my child self and my wise self are connecting. And that's the purpose of what I'm doing right now. For some reason, that was so clear to me from the beginning. And I thought it was weird. I would say it in women's group. This is what I'm doing. I'm connecting these parts of myself. Yeah. And yes, our source of power, our source of our life force energy, our fire, all of this tends to be in the deepest parts of our wounding. Like where we really got torn apart is where the soul essence like scatters, and we're recollecting these soul essences. And yes, when I was called to do this, a guide came in and said, I was asking the universe, and it was like, you're going to do this. And it was like, helping women with sexuality. And I was like, no, I was sexually abused. I don't want anything to do with that. Why would it be that? And in the same sentence, I got that. Oh, okay. Yep. Okay, universe. It's yes. It was a scary yes, but it was full 100% yes. So thank you for speaking to this. It's really important. Yeah. And that's why this work, everyone, is not necessarily easy or comfortable. And we will touch upon this as well. It's not something that we need to, process all of our traumas. This is somatic processes where we allow the body to work its natural system instead of trying to figure it out in our mind. It's like we feel the pain, we try to solve it with the mind, and we just go back and forth. But the body's here saying, come on, give it to me. I know what to do. And it's so much, I want to use the word easier because it's not easy to transfer this system to this system. It's just more sustainable, and you get results that you've wanted for a long time, possibly your whole life. That's how it was for me anyway. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Regina. Okay, Rachel, are you ready, hun? Is this working? There. Oh, I just muted you again. There we go.
Is that okay?
Yes.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
So I just wanted to say that I don't have my video on tonight because I'm in a different location and I don't have a powerful signal. So I thought it would be, it was a little hard getting on Zoom anyway. And so that's why I'm doing it. I wasn't trying to upset Janet or Rachel. Just kidding, you guys. But I mean, I'm sure we all have our reasons why we didn't have our video on tonight. But it's so interesting. My whole day today, it was such a quiet, silent day. I don't know how to explain that, but everybody was just so quiet. Just throughout my whole day, everyone I came in contact with, and it came into this women's group. So anyway, I've been a part of the group with Rachel for, I think this is my third year going, but did you say there have been 4 years? I must have missed the first year. No? Okay.
I think this is third.
Third. Okay. I don't know. It does seem like it's just been forever in a good way, but, I still have more work to do in myself. I feel like each year for me, just continues to like open myself up in the blossoming way that we are as women. And it's just a very delicate, slow process for me. And um, I don't mind continuing to be part of the group. It's a little different each year, although it's kind of the same, if that makes any sense. So um, I just know that I'm still not where I want to be. And so um, I don't know. It's been such a blessing doing this women's group and having the connections with everybody that we have. And I'm looking forward to this new year.
Beautiful, Rachel. Yeah. Looking forward to it too. It's so cool how the quiet came in. Maybe you brought it.
Maybe. And it's not like exactly sadness, it's just, or melancholy. It's not really anything. It just has been just a quiet day. And I can be a very quiet person. So I just thought, well, maybe, all the stuff I have going on right now, maybe that's why it's so quiet. But I don't know. It felt good tonight for it to be quiet for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. Yeah. Thank you, Rachel. It's good to hear you. All right, Susan. At work? There we go.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, Janet. I don't know what to say. I'm exhausted. Rachel's retreat was amazingly beautiful. Amazingly beautiful. I came home last Wednesday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, when did I start getting cranky? I think it was Sunday I started getting cranky. I'm like, oh no, I'm back to reality. I've been raging for 2 days. That's what I've been doing, raging. I guess I have to clear it, huh? Is this going to be your fourth class, Rachel, or your third?
I think it's third.
Are you sure it's not the fourth?
I know. I'll have to
look back.
It's the third. It's the third.
Okay. Yeah. Rachel is an amazing teacher and an amazing woman with a beautiful, beautiful soul. I know what I want to say about soul. It's free. When you're in your soul, it's free. It's the freest I can be, and I've experienced it. More than once recently. And someone mentioned they felt their womb connect to their heart. I have felt that also since working with Rachel. Excuse me. Can I ask you a question, Rachel?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm breaking the generational curses from my mother's maternal side. So I went for a walk today because I can't do it after. And I heard the rage. Can the rage come from the ancestors?
Absolutely. I feel like in my experience. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And if you're feeling that, then it is true, for you.
Well, when I was walking, I wasn't even in the open space. And I stopped dead in my tracks and I heard the rage is coming from the ancestors, or it's part of the ancestral lineage. I don't know what I heard, but I heard it's ancestral. I was like, oh my God, I've never thought of that before. And then I walked down farther and there's like 10 cows, and this one cow, they were all taking naps, and the one cow stands up. They got little tags on their ears. And I'm like, what number is that? It was 777. I took a picture of it. It was the angel cow I saw tonight.
Oh. You're saying that, and I have a herd of cows outside my door just mooing away.
Me and Rachel and I, I can't think of the word. I'm so tired. We call the cows or something. Because I thought, oh, those cows are probably all gone, because I hadn't been over on that other side for like a week, because they feed them the grass and then they slaughter them for food. But there's still 10 over there today.
Yeah. Yeah. So grateful for the cows and their amazing offering for us. Yeah.
Yeah, when we were at Rachel's and the cows, like, where's the cows? And then all of a sudden, all the cows were like right there in front of us all.
Yeah. Yeah. That's sweet.
We missed you, Janet.
Yeah.
I wanted to be there. I know.
Yeah. We
That-
did. Next time, that might be good to speak to as well on this call, that there'll be this year a retreat. And it will be at the pyramid. So yeah, we had a festival. It'll be something similar, but more intimate and focused on the 9-month gathering. So
Yes, let's all manifest a retreat this time.
yeah, late spring. Yeah. Yes. And yeah, I just wanted to go back to what you were saying about the anger, Susan. I really believe that some really deep, profound anger can come from, yes, your lineage, your maternal, even, I felt it from my grandfather in my blood. Like, he ran really hot and angry. And I realized in the last few years that, wow, that is, that is his anger coming through me. And I also have felt like there can be, like Kali, like deep feminine rage from being kept from our power taken, our power that we have chosen to hand over.
Mm-hmm.
All of these things can just be like a collective feminine rage. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about that also. I thought, because I know women are starting to get angry. I mean, we've been getting angry for a while, but I think it's getting, I'm hearing it becoming louder.
Yeah.
But the rage also, my father could really scream,
Mm. Mm.
you know, and he got in my face 2 years ago. No, not not where I'm, no, destructive rage. I don't know. Rage to me is just, I don't beat anything or break anything. I'm not like that. I just get mad.
But from your father screaming, like,
Yeah. My dad screamed at me 2 years ago, and I looked at him and I'm like, "You sit down. You're not doing this, Donald." But my dad, you know, now that I think about it, my dad could really yell at us.
Mhm. Yeah. So an interesting question that's coming through me from this is, have any of us experienced any non-destructive rage being modeled to us in the world or in our family systems? I don't think I've ever seen healthy, I mean, except for like my therapist, you know, like in days recently. um, yeah, yeah. So this is something we're doing, right? When I talk about like anger exercises, we're exercising, um, uh, just viewing anger being displayed without it turning into destruction or being, having a destructive goal or the nature of it. So yeah, and we experienced that, Susan, in the pyramid at the festival. What was the first thing that happened when I played the anger song that I love so much? I mean, it's sensual, anger, sexual, like kind of combined, but stomping occurred.
Yeah.
Stomped, and that pyramid wanted to be stomped, like the Earth Mother's like waiting for us.
Mm-hmm.
Stomp. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's a healthy way of getting anger out, is taking big steps where you're stomping and using your voice, your sounding.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. Stomping. I forget. I'll have to do
Yeah.
that.
We might need to review the anger exercises. Sounds like. Good job. Yeah, it's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Susan, for sharing.
You're welcome. I'm sorry. I just was like really lazy. So that's why I've had my camera off.
That's absolutely perfectly fine. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, honey. Oh, okay. We have room for one more share if you'd like. Hmm. Some beautiful sharing. Hmm. Yeah, thank you everyone who's shared in the chat and shared with their voices and turned on their screen or didn't turn on their screen. This kind of space, it is all welcome. So yeah, thank you for bringing your energy here and your curiosity, and hope to see you on the 9-month journey. Please reach out at any point and ask questions. Registration will be open. And to register, you just need to email me a yes. As simple as that. I'll put you on the list and you'll be on the email list. And we'll begin on the 22nd of October. Yeah, and I'll put out a notice for that as well. And if you're getting too many emails from me, please let me know. This whole switch over to MailChimp is a little tricky. So I'm not a big marketer, but right now testing some things out just so that I can reach the women that really want, even need this in their lives. So yeah, if you know anyone, yeah, spread the word. Places for women to gather where they really feel safe in their body and safe in community can be pretty rare. And I also say they're growing, and that is such a good sign.
For Rachel, is it going to be every other Wednesday, correct?
Yes, the end of
Right.
the end of October we'll do back to back, and sometimes the schedule will do that to accommodate holidays or a shift in the schedule, but typically we'll always have 2 calls a month, and there'll be an email with some prompts and some guided questions in there as well. And yeah. All right. Really, really had a good time tonight. Thank you so much. Yes, Rachel, it is starting Wednesday, October 22nd at 6:30 Mountain Time. Yeah, a little earlier for you, Rachel. Thank you, Karen. All right, everyone.
All right. Thank you. All
Thank you.
right. See you guys. All right. Bye.
Night.